Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am the Channeling Goddess. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing something a bit different. It's what I used to do when I first started on YouTube, which was more of a channeling reading. My name is actually the Channeling Goddess, so it makes sense that, I would kind of go back to my roots a little bit. So we're going to be doing a general channeling today. So there will be no pick a decks or pick a cards today, just a general channeling to see what spirit brings through in this reading for us. I would also say that if you are looking for some pick a cards, I do have some on my channel, so feel free to check those out. But today we're just going to be doing a little bit of channeling. We are going to pull some cards, but for the most part, the first part of this will be channeling messages, and then we'll see if there is any additional messages that spirit might have for us. Okay, now before we get started, it is helpful that if you are looking for a specific message or you are looking for confirmation during this channeling, it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition. And the way that I like to do this is by putting my feet in the grass or by taking a couple of mindful deep breaths. This just kind of helps you get more in sync with yourself as well as spirit, who is trying to give messages to you. I'm hearing, for some of you, and I haven't even gotten started, Spirit is saying that we've been giving you this message over and over again. So for some of you, maybe some of the messages that you receive today will be something that you've already heard before. For others of you, it may not have anything to do with this message, and maybe that is your only message here, that Spirit has been giving you confirmation and you have not been listening. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. So for the 3 mindful deep breaths, normally what I like to do is inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. So we're actually going to do that today because I noticed that when I do this, it just calms my mind. Sometimes it even puts me in a really nice, calm, transformative state. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to do it with you on this reading. So let's get ready. So if you can, get in a relaxed position. It could be you sitting up. It could be you laying down. I'm personally sitting and I have my feet flat against the floor, and it already feels very grounding. And I always notice that there's like this tingling in my legs when I start grounding. So maybe that is confirmation for you. And I just saw 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 3 mindful deep breaths. So we're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and exhale for 5. Okay. So breath number 1, inhale, hold, exhale. Again, we want to inhale, hold, exhale. Last one, inhale, hold, exhale. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so you may hear me humming. You may also hear me mumbling. This is just my way of channeling and getting in touch with spirit to give the messages that are meant to be given at this time. So let's get started. The first thing I'm hearing is ground your energy. And I just heard where you plant your feet is where you will land. Spirit is saying that for some of us, we haven't made a decision yet. And we don't know where to plant our feet. We are a little bit inconsistent with what we want to do. We don't know how we want to traverse this path. We don't know how we want to move forward. And Spirit is saying you need to plant your feet somewhere. And I'm literally seeing bare feet in snow. So that may be what this feels like to you, putting your bare feet in snow. Maybe very cold. And what I'm seeing is like maybe a couple of inches of snow. So you don't know what's on the ground underneath the snow. And you may be saying, Spirit, I want to plant my feet down, but I am wholly unsure on how this is going to turn out. And Spirit is saying, we will catch you, right? The ground underneath you is stable. The ground underneath you is warm. The ground underneath you has new life. But we need you to put your foot down. We need you to take some steps, right? For some of you, I am seeing Spirit is saying to hold my hand. Spirit is asking you to hold its hand through this process, and they will hold your hand. Some of you, I am seeing the image of you walking in snow, and there are like hundreds of your ancestors around you. They're walking with you. It's almost like, think of like a marching band. Every step that you take, your ancestors and your spirit guides and your angels, they are in sync with every step that you're taking at this point. They just need you to decide, right? They can't help you. They can't guide you because you won't make a decision. You won't decide. And for some of you, the message that came through earlier of you being given this guidance before, you've been given this message, you've been told by Spirit to do something. Specifically, this feels like a business. You've been told to do this and you're hesitating. You won't listen to Spirit. You won't take out the time to actually do what Spirit is asking you to do. The Spirit might have asked you to do some research about something so that you can learn a little bit more. You won't do it. And this doesn't feel like you won't do it because you just don't want to listen to Spirit. This feels more like fear, right? Of the unknown, fear of, I don't know how this is going to turn out, Spirit. And you're asking me to take a huge leap of faith. And Spirit is saying, without this leap of faith, we cannot catch you. Without this leap of faith, you won't have the ability to know what your strengths are. You won't have the ability, or you won't be able to see how strong you are, how powerful you are, how in sync with us you already are. For some of you, you've been wanting to talk to your ancestors, and your ancestors are already around you. They have been giving you signs and you have not been listening. For some of you, I'm seeing swollen feet. So I don't know if you're having some health issues. Spirit is saying to actually go to a doctor to get this looked at. For others of you, I'm seeing something with your teeth. Make sure that you get this checked out for sure. I would say if you can do it in the next week or two, that would be great. Okay, there is a warning coming, is what I'm hearing. Spirit is saying there's a warning coming, and they're asking you to heed the warning. I don't even know how to describe to you what I'm seeing, but imagine like a balloon, like plastic, okay? And imagine it being, I don't want to say on fire, but burnt, right? And it's shriveling in on itself. I don't know if you're shriveling in on yourself or you're making yourself small. I don't know what this is. What is this, Spirit? Can you give me more clarity on what this is? Okay, Spirit said this is uncertainty. This is uncertainty about what comes next for you. You may be traversing or going into something that you yourself don't necessarily see the benefit of doing this. And Spirit is saying there is something here for you. For some of you, there is a blessing in disguise that's coming for you. You don't see it right now. Right now, you can only see the trees. You can't see the full forest. And Spirit is, and I think that's why that message about putting your feet, ground your feet wherever you land is where we will be, is because Spirit is saying you're being guided here. For some of you, so this is a separate message. For some of you, you're being guided somewhere. For others of you, Spirit is saying just to plant your feet and we'll be there. Regardless of which message resonates with you, Spirit is saying we will be with you every step of the way, okay? I keep getting hold our hand, hold our hand. I really feel like this is your ancestors, your guides. For some of you, this is your mother coming through. The loudest. She's not the only one there, but your mother is definitely here asking you to hold her hand. I'm like hearing the lullaby, rockabye baby. I don't know if that was like a thing between the two of you, but that's what I'm hearing. She's saying fall in, like I'm seeing the fall into my arms card. Your mom is asking you to fall into her arms for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna give you a visual of what I'm seeing. Your mother is asking you to fall into her arms, and this doesn't have to be your actual mother. This could be someone you saw as a mother figure that is no longer here. They're asking you to fall into their arms, but they are sitting in the arms of spirit. So think of like double protection, right? You're going to fall into your mother's arms, but you're also falling into the arms of spirit, and you are fully protected throughout this process. Even if you don't see it right now, even if everything looks unstable, if everything looks like nothing is going the way you thought it was going to go, there's a reason for that. There's a blessing in the chaos. There's a blessing in the unknown, but you have to be willing to step outside of your own comfort zone to get to this place, okay? Anything else, Spirit? I think that's it. Okay. Let's pull a couple of cards to see if we can get any additional messages about what Spirit is giving us. Spirit, can we get some cards, please? Any additional messages that we need to hear right now? So we have the forgotten. It says missed opportunities, fear of failure. Okay. Yeah, that really kind of resonates with the channeled message, that fear of the unknown. You don't know how this is going to turn out. You don't know where you're going, and sometimes it's harder to trust spirit. And we have the diviner. So it says divine timing, evolution, or evaluation. Sorry. So some of you really are evolving. For others of you, you may be going through a time of evaluation right now. You may also be going through an initiation. I'm hearing that as well. Maybe that's part of this trust that you're putting in spirit. You're going through an evaluation right now. You're evolving. And it's a bit scary. I get that. And then we have the chiromancer. So it says delivering news, collaboration. And then we're going to get you one more card in the bottom deck energy. Spirit, can we get one more card, please? Thank you. We have the enchanter, deception, trickery. And then the bottom deck energy is the assassin, ruthlessness, and conviction. I want to move these over. Okay, so of course, the first card is the forgotten, right? For some of you, you feel forgotten by spirit. And it's a little bit harder for you to do this thing that spirit is asking you to do, right? And it's because you may have been in a situation where you've tried to do something before and it didn't work out, but it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out, right? So sometimes things are blessings in disguise for us. Sometimes things are happening and they don't turn out the way we want them to turn out, but they've turned out exactly the way spirit has seen fit for them to turn out, right? I am of the belief that everything happens for a reason, and everything has its time, and everything has its space. And now, like, in this person right here is making me think of the message of falling into my arms. Spirit is asking you to fall into its arms, right? To let go of your expectations and hold on to the fact that spirit has never let you fall. You may have stumbled, but spirit has never let you fall, okay? And then we have the diviner, divine timing, evaluation. Spirit is saying that you've been in an evaluation period. You may have been going through like a dark night of the soul recently. You may have been shifting. There may have been like an initiation that you've been going through. But all of this was in divine timing, right? You are getting ready to move into this new phase of your life because now is the time, right? You planted the seed and it is starting to grow. And you are moving, some of you, you're moving out of the phase of evaluation. It is your time to shine, I'm hearing. It is your time to progress. And spirit is saying that you have to allow us to help you, right? Some of us, we're so used to doing things on our own that we don't even realize that by blocking out others, we're blocking out spirit. We're blocking out the blessings that are meant to come in for us, okay? And then you have the chiromancer. So some of you, you may be getting divination specific to you. I'm getting that. You may be getting a palm reading as well. You may do palm readings. But in this this divination or palm reading or whatever it is that you get, it could be like a reading of sorts. Spirit is saying that they're going to be delivering some news, and this news feels like collaboration with Spirit. It also could be if you are a diviner of sorts, you may be collaborating with someone soon, and it could be someone that you yourself have looked up to. You could potentially be collaborating with them soon, so like keep that in mind. It may be maybe you've been doing this for a while and you've been playing by your own rules, and now you're actually going to get a chance to like collaborate with someone you like have like really thought highly of, and you might even be shocked that they even know who you are. But you may be getting ready to collaborate with someone like that. For others of you, this is you getting some type of divination of sorts, and you're going to be getting confirmation about moving forward. You're going to be getting confirmation about you being on the right path, and it's going to deliver good news to you and make you feel more comfortable. And the fact that the enchanter, deception, and trickery is coming out right after this card, Spirit is saying that you may also during this divination find out about some things that are not quite on the up and up, because where you're going, you cannot take everybody with you. Some pieces will have to fall away. Some people will have to fall away. Some mindsets, right? Mindsets that you've had and held for years will have to fall away, because there is a form of deception and trickery there, and you cannot walk this path with this deception like at your back or in your mind, right? And then we have the assassin. So it says ruthlessness, conviction. For some of you, this is going to take a lot of trust in Spirit, and you're going to have to be ruthless about your own healing, I'm hearing. For some of you, this is specifically about you healing. You may be talking to a therapist or talking to a psychologist or psychiatrist. And this is going to be, it's almost like I'm hearing radical change. You may be doing something that's radical for like someone in your family. So let's say you are deciding to go to a counselor. You may be the first person in your family that's ever done this, and it feels a bit like out there, right? It feels like a bit ruthless, but you are like, you have courage and conviction going down this path, and Spirit wants you to hold on to that. For some of you, this is also talking about the channeling that I got where your feet was in like the snow and you didn't know where you were going. Some of you, you've already decided that you will walk even if you walk in fear, and that courage and conviction is going to pay off for you, okay? So I'm going to get some other cards because I want to see if we can get some additional messages from Spirit, okay? So I want to pull some messages from the Shamanic Dreams Oracle deck. This is probably one of my favorites right now. So let's see if we can get 2 cards from this deck. Spirit, any messages for the collective at this time? What do we need to hear? I just heard messages are coming in, and they're coming in fast. I'm seeing the 8 of Wands in my head. So something may be coming to you relatively fast, very soon. I don't know if you've scheduled a reading and it's coming up, but something is going to come to you very soon. This could also happen in your dreams as well, but you're about to get some confirmation. Like I cannot get away from the image of the 8 of Wands in my head of like really quick and fast movement. And I keep hearing like I'm spreading the news, okay? So we have Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. Let's get one more card, please, Spirit. Or another message. Thank you. Okay, we have closing the door, completion. Okay, and then the bottom deck energy is crown gains, right use of power. Okay, so we're going to read these 2 from the book. Okay, so this is card 18, which says Eye of the Eagle. So it says protection, inherent trust, rising above the fray. So this card says the Eyes of the Eagle offers you the gift of foresight, the skill of looking ahead to see the unfolding of destiny before it all manifests as reality. Yeah, this makes sense, because for me to say that you're going to get divination from somewhere, like confirmation that everything is going to be fine or you're on the right path, Spirit is giving you insight into what's coming, because Spirit understands that you may be in a place of fear, but Spirit wants you to have some type of like confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. Okay. It says the eagle's extraordinary vision allows it to spot the tiny mouse from its lofty perspective as it flies thousands of feet into the atmosphere. In a similar fashion, you too can train your keen eye to discern the workings of humans. For some of you, you are going to be opening up your third eye, and understanding almost how to control it. That's what I'm hearing. So take that message if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it on the table. Okay. It says, Eyes of the Eagle is an invitation to witness the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, yet react to nothing. Act only to further your noblest calling. The eagle flies above all creatures. When it meets obstacles, it simply rises above them. Know that you are protected. You can fly high above the judgment slings and arrows and the darts of envy from others who may not have your great wings and are still arguing with the pigeons over crumbs. Trust that you are trust that you are ready for whatever fortune has placed before you, even if you feel not yet properly equipped to meet its challenges. Yes, like the images that I was getting in the snow, like you didn't know, like we didn't know if we could put our feet down because we didn't know what was underneath the snow. There could be sores, there could be thorns underneath the snow, right? But Spirit is asking us to place our trust in Spirit and to move forward even if we don't feel properly equipped for this, okay? It says, your willingness to say yes to Spirit has nothing to do with how well outfitted you are. Hesitating, on the other hand, will suck the air from under your wings and make you lose altitude. You are called now to trust. Yes, trust your heart and your instincts to move fearlessly and not waver. The time is right and no harm can come your way if your motives are pure and you act courageously. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Spirit is saying that you are protected throughout this, right? We just need you to move. You have to make a decision to move because we will support you no matter what you're doing. We're not asking you to move because you're equipped. We're not asking you to move because you have all the answers. Specifically, this journey is designed so that you move without the answers, which can be very scary. But this is almost, I want to say that this is an exercise in trust in Spirit, right? That's why you're being led down this path, because Spirit wants to almost show you what they can do. Spirit wants to prove to you that not only are you stronger than you believe you are, but Spirit has always had your back and will continue to have your back, okay? So then we have card number 5, which is closing door. So it says, closing door, endings, completion, your greater calling. It says, when the closing door shows up, it's a call to recognize an ending. Yep. To terminate a relationship, job, task, or situation that has been dragging on far too long. Unlock the cage you have been trapped in and shut the door behind you. This is not the time to worry about what others might think or feel. Instead, break with routine, consider what you think and how you feel, and be true to your heart's calling. It's time to walk out of the door. If you do not see a door but only a solid wall in front of you, ask for assistance. Muster the courage to say no more. Remember as well that no one else needs to be wrong in order for you to do what you've known you needed to do for a long time. Yeah, some of you, that message that was coming through, like you've been given this message before. This is not the first time you're hearing it. This is just confirmation that you are on the right path and you need to keep going. Okay? It says, if the door is to a project or a relationship that has been closed to you, stop knocking on it. Stop going back to things that don't serve you. You have tried that already and no one answered, at least not in the way you would have liked. Take this as a gift, difficult and painful as it might be. Move on. Every door that shuts is an invitation to find another way, another path to your destination. Better to recognize this early rather than later. How many of us leave a relationship or job years after we knew it was time to move on? Stop wallowing in the pain and lingering on the reason why things did not work. It is keeping you from your greater calling. Bow deeply before that closed door, give thanks to the lesson, and set yourself free. Yeah, this is really so much in line with the messages that were coming through as well, because we need to, a lot of times we stay in situations that are not meant for us, right? And we feel like, because like what we talked about in the past, the forgotten missed opportunities, fear of failure in the past, it may not have turned out the way we wanted it to turn out. So now we're like, well, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I don't know how this is going to turn out. If I can't control it, I don't want to, I don't want to take this step. And Spirit is saying the timing is right. You've been through an evaluation period. You have been assessed by Spirit. And now it is time to walk away from the thing that no longer needs to be there, right? Use your power wisely and move away. Like, even like, I love how at the end it says to bow to the door and acknowledge the lessons that you learned, but also understand that you are meant to move on to something greater, because those lessons and those things that you dealt with, this door that you're leaving behind, they served a purpose at the time that they were in your life, but they no longer serve a purpose now, and they need to be removed. Okay, we're going to pull from the Divine Feminine deck just to see if we can get any additional messages. Spirit, can we get any additional messages? 2 cards, please. Thank you. We have Yemoja or Yemoya. It says, the goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Okay, and then we're going to pull one more card. Spirit, can we get one more card, please? Yeah, for some of you, you're going to need to go with the flow. Yep, that Yemoya card is making me think of like flowing with the energy, going where you're being led. Even if it's scary, even if you don't know, like I said, that I keep getting the image of the snow, like putting your feet in snow, but it's so deep you don't know where you're landing. So it's a bit scary to go down that path. But Spirit is saying go with the flow. There's a reason why you're in this almost, it's like you're going through a trust exercise. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like you're going through a trust exercise with Spirit, and they want you to pass. Your ancestors want you to pass. They want you to pass this test, but you have to be willing to flow with the energy of Spirit. Okay? Spirit, can we get one card, please, from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck, please? Some of you, you're like these cards, you're a bit stubborn. You don't want to do it. You're like, and I wouldn't even say that you don't want to do it because you don't like want to follow Spirit. It's just scary. It's the unknown. And I'm going to show you this card because it came out again. It says, Isis, the goddess of magic, sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. It kind of flipped over, but kind of didn't. But I wanted to show it to you just in case it comes out again. And Kuan Yin actually came out for me earlier. So that may be a message for you. It's the goddess of compassion. And then we have Thekla. I think I'm saying that right. So it says, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. And then the bottom deck energy, I do not want to butcher this name, but it is the essence of all Buddhas. It says, I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. Okay, so we're going to read the other 2 out of the book, and let's just see what messages we get from Spirit. Okay, so the Yemoya or Yemoja card says, who is she? Yemoya represents the creative force of the unconscious, the secret depths that bring the unseen into the physical realm. The African goddess Yemoya gave birth to all the 14 gods and goddesses in the Yoruba religion. She is caring and nurturing, and yet also fiercely protective and strong, with a desire to relieve her children of any struggles or sorrows. Yeah, sometimes we are being relieved of the things that no longer serve us, but it is not the easiest, right? As a mom, sometimes you push your children to get out of situations, right? Because they won't move themselves, okay? It says, she is worshipped at the ocean or in any flowing body of water, though it is said that her true home is the Ogun River in Nigeria. She is considered to be a mermaid whose energy, blessing, and power flows through all forms of water, cleansing, renewing, inspiring, and reminding us of the limitless love we are. In Brazil and Uruguay, she is offered succulent fruit and gifts on tiny boats cast out to the sea from the beaches. Her worshippers ask her to give them her blessings so that their desires in the new year can manifest. Yeah, new year, new you. Like literally, You're going into something new, and you need to ask for blessings, right? And especially if you resonate with this Orisha, she may also be calling out to you. So I would definitely say do some research into this Orisha as well. It says she's the queen of the ocean, the ruler of the subconscious, and the creative force that allows us to translate the inevitable into art. It says, as the mother of all, she is the energy that brings new life into the world. Yeah, newness, right? We're talking about moving into something new. We don't know what it's going to be like. And I'm thinking of like the vision that I got with the feet in the snow. I could actually see like underneath the snow that there was like fresh grass, like green, beautiful fresh grass. So for some of you, you're worried about how this is going to turn out. You're worried about, you don't know what this is going to look like, and Spirit is saying you're worried for nothing, right? There is freshness, there is newness that's coming for you, but you have to be willing to let go of your own perspective of how this should turn out and flow. Let it just flow. Some of you, this may be the start of a creative ability that you have. You may be in the wrong place to grow the seeds that you have right now. I was listening to a podcast, and I can't think of the name of it, but Tabitha Brown was actually on the podcast, and she was talking about how sometimes you're in infertile ground and you can't really grow your seeds because of where you are. And sometimes this is a physical place. Sometimes this is a mindset. Sometimes this is a job that you've been holding on to So for some of you, this is you letting go and getting into calmer waters, whether this is a physical move, a mental move, moving away from a relationship, like the card said, a task or anything like that. You are moving into something that's brand new, but you're going to have to go with the flow, right? Because you're not going to know how this is going to turn out. Okay. So we have this card, which is the Prophetess of True Power. I really don't want to mess up her name. I think it's Thekla, but I'm not sure. It says, who is she? Thekla represents the ability to call back all of your power. It says the Acts of Paul and Thekla dates back to the 2nd century, though some scholars believe its Greek composition could be from as early as 70 CE. It relates a young woman's call to life, of teaching and healing in the Christ movement in Asia Minor, current day Turkey. Thekla, daughter of Theoclia, at age 17 overhears Paul teaching about Christ. She stays rooted in place at her window for 3 days so she won't miss a word. Her mother had arranged for her to be married, so when Thekla feels called to begin her own ministry, she is sentenced to burn for refusing to be a bride. Just as the flames are surrounding her, though, she makes the sign of the cross, and a huge storm puts the fire out. She finds Paul, cut her hair short, and tells him, only give me the seal of Christ and no trial will touch me. He suggests that she isn't ready for baptism yet. Shortly after, a president of the Council of Syria rises to take Thekla in the streets to be his bride. She tears off his cloak and takes the crown from his head and publicly shames him for trying to take her without consent. It says, she is then sentenced to death by wild beasts. In the arena, all the women protest judgment of Thekla, proclaiming her innocence. A huge lioness enters the arena, approaches Thekla, and then licks her feet and bows before her. Thekla enters the pool in the arena that is filled with wild sea lions. The women fear she will be killed, but she declares, in the name of Jesus Christ, I baptize myself. Suddenly, she is shielded and protected by a great ring of fire, and a glowing white robe suddenly appears on her body. Paul tells her, go and teach the word of God. It is recorded in the Acts of Paul and Thekla that she lived until 90 and enlightened many. Her ministry proves the existence of the female authority in the early Christian church. So for some of you, this is you stepping out of tradition. This is you stepping out of the norm or what you are quote unquote supposed to do. So that's the best way I can describe that. What people expect you to do, how they expect you to act. You are moving because you're being guided by spirit. And spirit is saying that for some people will look at you and they will think you are crazy for doing what you're about to do. For moving in this place or into this headspace or whatever the case may be. People will look at you like you have lost your mind, but spirit is saying keep going, right? You will be rewarded by spirit for what it is that you're doing. And notice how she was protected in places where she should have been, destroyed, where she should have been killed. She was protected. Spirit is saying that you are going to be protected, even though you cannot see it now. You need to trust, even if you have to walk in fear, right? Because I'm sure during this process, there was some fear within her. You have to walk even in fear, and just know that spirit has you. Spirit has never let you fall. Spirit has never let you be in a situation where you have not been able to pick yourself back up. Spirit has never, I'm hearing, spirit has never left you without a witness. So for some of you, you've been getting confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. You may even have been seeing angel numbers, and that may have been confirmation for you as well. But spirit is saying, trust us. Trust that you're being guided in the right direction. Trust that your ancestors are all around you. They're protecting you. They are holding your hand through this process. And all you have to do is move, right? All you have to do is make a decision, walk, move. You'll know if this message is for you because you've been teeter-tottering on what kind of decision that you're making. For some of you, you made a decision and you're hesitant, right? You're hesitating to even move. Don't let this hesitation stop you. Even if you have to walk and move in fear, do it, right? Even don't let the hesitation stop you. Walk even if you have to walk in fear, okay? So this is all of the messages that I have today. Thank you for allowing me so much to channel your energy. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you come back and I can get to channel for you again. And I'll see you next time in your next reading. Bye.